Good afternoon, everyone. I'm coming to you today with another lesson. Today we will be working on two-step word problems. So let's get started. Number one reads, I have 47 marbles. Then 6 of my friends each give me 7 marbles. How many marbles do I have? So with word problems, we always try and break the problem down in order to be able to understand the steps that we need to do to solve. So the first thing I need to do is we need to find all of the numbers that are involved in this problem. I'll give you some think time so you can find the numbers. Okay, if you said that you notice that we have numbers 47, 6, and 7, you are correct. So the next thing I have to do is now figure out the first step that I need to do. So I'm going to type step 1. I have to figure out which operation I'm going to use. And operations, remember, is adding, subtracting, dividing, or multiplying. So I notice that I have 6 friends and they each give me 7 marbles. So 6 groups of 7. That makes me think about which operation. Would it be addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? I will give you some think time. If you said multiplication, you are correct. So I would need to multiply 6 times 7. And I'll give you some think time to figure out what would 6 times 7 be? What would the product be? That would give me 42. Now, for step 2, I now have to figure out how many marbles do I have in total. I already had 47 marbles before I got the 42 from my my 6 friends. So now what I need to do is I need to figure out if I need to multiply again, if I need to subtract, if I need to add, or if I need to divide. I will give you some think time. If you said addition, you are correct. So I need to add 47 plus 42. And I know that 7 plus 2 gives me 9. 4 plus 4 gives me 8. So my answer for number 1 would be 89. So I have 89 marbles in total. Number 2 reads, the cash register at the ice cream store started the day with $120. During the day, the store earned $56 selling ice cream. The manager also paid for a delivery out of the cash register. At the end of the day, the register had $141. How much did the delivery cost? So again, I have to find my numbers, all of the numbers that are involved in this problem. I'll give you some think time to find that. And if you said that the numbers that you see in the problem are $120, $56, and $141, you are correct. So the next thing I need to do is do step 1 of my problem, which would be to figure out which operation I would need to do. So I started the day with $120. And I earned 56. So as you can see, if you notice, I put a plus sign with this step because if I've earned something, that means something has increased, which means I have to add. So I have to add 56 to 120, which would give me 176. But now I have to do my second step, and I have to figure out my delivery cost. So that means I see that I need to find the difference. And there's only one operation where you have to find the difference of something. And I'll give you some think time that you can figure out which operation it could be. And if you said subtraction, you are correct. So I have to subtract $141 from 176. So if I notice that I can take 1 away from 6. So I know that my number in the ones place will be a 5. Then I see that I can take 4 away from 7, which will leave me 3. So the delivery cost was $35. Okay, number 3. My book is 131 pages. I have been reading 7 pages each day for 8 days. How many pages are left to read? All right, so again, like before, I have to find all of the numbers that are involved in this problem. And I'll give you some think time. So if you found 3 numbers, and those 3 numbers are 131, 7, and 8, you are correct. Now what we have to do is we have to figure out the steps, the operations that we need to do in step 1 and in step 2. So for step 1, I noticed that I've read 7 pages each day for 8 days. So that makes me think about 7 equal groups of 8, which makes me think about multiplication. So 7 times 8 is 56. Now for step 2, I have to figure out how many pages are left to read. My book is 131 pages. I've already read 56 pages. That means, if you notice, I had to do the subtraction sign. So that means we are going to be subtracting in the second step of the word problem. So when you subtract 56 from 131, you are going to get 75 as your answer. Because the 1 in the ones place turns into an 11, because you can't take 6 away from 1. So that's why we had to do some regrouping. And once that 1 in the ones place turns into an 11, that's when you subtract 6 from 11, which would give you 5. Then you have a 3 in the tens place and then a 5 in the tens place with the other number. So that means, again, I cannot take 5 away from 3. So that 3 turns into a 12. Reason being is because I had already had to borrow in the ones place. So that would be that 3 turns into a 12, and then 12, you now can take 5 away from 12, which will give you 7. And because we did the regrouping in the ones and tens place, in the hundreds place, that 1 becomes a 0. Moving on into problem 4, and it reads as follows. The total cost for my brother's bowling party was $140. It cost $50 to reserve a bowling lane plus the cost of renting shoes for the 9 people attending. How much is the cost of renting shoes per person? Okay, so now what we're going to do is going to find the numbers. So it'll give you some think time to find the numbers that are involved in the problem. So we have $140, $50, and $9. Okay, so now we have to do step 1, and we have to figure out the first operation that we need to do. So what I notice is that I need to subtract 50 from 140. And that will give me 90. Now I have to figure out with $90, how much will it cost for each person to rent their shoes? Because we have $90 and we have 9 people. So that means I'm going to divide. So 90, and I'm going to do the slash for my division sign. You will learn this in 4th and in middle school and high school, that this sign is just like the fraction sign. It's understood to be used for division as well. All right, so I know that I have to divide 9 from 90. So I have to think, how many times can 9 equally go into 90? So when I think about division, you can also think about the inverse operation, which is multiplication, because 9 times something will give you 90. And if you said 10, you are correct. So the cost of renting shoes per person is $10. So what I like for you to do as independent work, you're going to do 5, 6, and 7 on your own. And again, in closing, our goal today was to solve 2-step word problems that were within 100. Okay, thank you and have a great day.